Hello, everybody. Be Vicious here. Yesterday, these guys whooped that ass. So, let's talk about it, shall we? The Buffalo Bills faced the Indianapolis Colts yesterday on a kind of rainy, overcast kind of day and won quite handily, 27 to 14. And at one point, we were up 24-0 late in the third quarter. And I got to tell you, I expected this. This was something that just last week, I was at a store with my girlfriend, and they had a Madden strategy guide, and I was like, "Why is this like this?" And me and the employee started talking about sports, blah blah blah. I told him I was a Bills fan, and we were talking. He's like, "Oh, I think the Colts are going." I was like, "No, the Bills are they're gonna kick some ass this week." And didn't say anything after that because I guarantee he was like, "Well, that guy's crazy." Bet he's not really thinking that anymore. Now let's go over the game. A lot of people are probably going to sit here and be like, "You're overreacting. The Bills always start out good and then they fall flat on the season. You've had impressive wins in your first game before. The 2003 against the Patriots, a couple of years ago against the Chiefs." Here's the thing: that the 2003 game that year we had a pretty awful defense. 2011 against the Chiefs, we handled them very well. They were the worst team that year. The Colts, that they're going to be a playoff team. I bet anybody that's watching this video would put money that the Colts are going to make the playoffs, especially just knowing what division they're in. I mean, yesterday Marcus Mariota looked great with the Tennessee Titans, but let's face it, they were playing the Buccaneers. So the second worst team last year beat the first worst team last year. So we'll see what they look like, but I think we're all willing to just go with the flow and say the Colts are a damn good team, and Buffalo handled them yesterday. It wasn't the game was much further than 27-14. As stated, it was 24-0. And the reason why I'm very confident going forward is because we weren't full yesterday. Sammy Watkins had 0 catches. Our main weapon on offense did not use him. We threw the ball at him 2 or 3 times. On defense, Marcel Darius was serving a suspension, so our main run stuffer and the guy that we just spent over $100 million for last week wasn't in this game at all yesterday. So we're going to be going and playing the Patriots next week, all dressed up and ready to go. And as far as I'm concerned, based on what I saw the Patriots on Thursday night, I'm not actually that concerned. They're going to be a great team. As always, they're the Patriots. They have Tom Brady. They're going to be fantastic. But they allowed a 32-year-old running back in D'Angelo Williams to run all over them. And not just all over them, they allowed him to beat them to the edge. If D'Angelo Williams is doing that, what do you think LaShawn McCoy is going to do? What do you think Carlos Williams is going to do up the middle in complement to that? Antonio Brown, best wide receiver in the NFL, arguably. I'm not going to say he was torching Malcolm Butler, but he had over 100 yards. He did his normal game. Vontae Davis is a better cornerback than Malcolm Butler. Sammy Watkins is going to have a good game next week. So, the thing that I've been saying about the Bills this year and why we're going to be good, why we're going to make the playoffs, why this is going to be a different year, look at it. Tyrod Taylor had a fantastic game yesterday. I'm not going to say fantastic. He did his job, which is what I've been saying from the start. I've been saying this for months, that all you need to do is play smart. You don't need to be a world beater on this team as the quarterback. Mediocre can do good if it's easy. This team is easy to work with as a quarterback. He has an immense amount of weapons, and you saw it. You saw 4 of them play. You saw 3 of them play decently, good and decently well yesterday. You saw Charles Clay make some plays as the tight end, which he's going to be the big guy. Like, he's going to be the main thing that we've been missing. That is huge. As long as we maintain him and he is our safety valve, that will always be it's critical. Then we had Percy Harvin, who had a great game as well. Then we also saw Robert Woods make some great catches, some clutch catches as he usually does. LaShawn McCoy was held in check, but he did the screen passes. He got out in space and he did work. And as stated before, Sammy Watkins wasn't touched. That's 5 solid weapons that he has to choose from. And all that needs to happen is one or two of those guys needs to beat their assignment once a week. So all he has to do is find the guy that's winning his battle and get the ball to him. That's all he has to do. And if he can't do that, you have one of the best defenses in the NFL right behind you, making sure that, like, hey, we just shut the hell out of Andrew Luck for 3 quarters and then just played back and let them get 14 points. Like, you've got that defense, and then you've got a solid special teams, which held the field position battle all day yesterday, and got a turnover. So this is a team that it's going to be easy for Tyrod Taylor to do this, and he's going to make plays himself. Like, that was a beautiful 51-yard pass to Percy Harvin, and then he made plays with his legs. He was looking downfield. He didn't make any mistakes. Obviously, there's going to be games, and he's going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. It's the NFL. That's going to happen. And, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we're going to be 16-0, but this is a team that can and will win the tough games. I'm going to tell you right now, mark it down. The Bills will win next week by 2 scores. It's going to be a close matchup. It's going to be a close game. And the only reason it's going to be 2 scores is we're going to pull away at the end. It's not going to be like, oh, we were winning like this game where, we were dominating and then they came back. No, this is going to be a close game, and then we're just going to pull away at the end, in my opinion. But just write it down. If the Bills can get out of their first 4 games, which is the first or second hardest part of their schedule. The other part would be later in November when we play, I believe it's 5 out of 6 games on the road, which is pretty atrocious if you ask me. But if we get out of these first 4 games 3-1, which we just beat the Colts yesterday, we got the Patriots next week, then we are at the Dolphins, and then versus the Giants. Those are 4 quality games right in a row. If we can get past that 3-1, most of our home games, pretty much all of our home games are against the tougher opponents, and all of our away games are against the easier opponents. So if we get out of these first 4 games 3-1, we've got the easier part of the schedule. So this is definitely a team that can build momentum going forward, and I see a lot of good things happening. So this is a team. This is the team that needs to get the media. Like, if we win, this is going to be the team that's going to shut the media up about how it needs to have a franchise quarterback, and the world revolve. No, if you have a team that can run the ball, that can establish the run, stop the run, make other teams one-dimensional, and force the other teams to make turnovers. You make the life easy for the quarterback. The quarterback doesn't have to be a world beater. If you have a elite defense, you will always have a chance to win because they will keep the score low and keep the game within striking distance of whomever the quarterback is. That's why the Bills were 9-7 last year, because of our defense. Now we have a more established offense with a better quarterback. So all we need to do is have 2 more games than last year go our way because our offense is a little more effective and not vanilla like it was being run by Doug Marrone and Nate Hackett because they had no idea how to run an offense. This year is going to be a lot different. What I saw yesterday was a team that as a Bills fan, I have never really, because I didn't really remember the 90s and us being good in those times. So reality is I've seen 15 years of horrendous Buffalo Bills football. This is the first time where I'm watching a team that's a goddamn awesome team. This is a team that is going to do something. There's going to be bumps in the road. That's going to happen. But this is a team that I guarantee you we're making the playoffs. And if we somehow manage to get the number 1 seed, and have home. I'm not sitting here saying that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying we're making playoffs. But if we manage to have home field in the playoffs, you don't want that noise plus that snow against that defense and that running game. Mark it down. This is a team that the rest of the NFL should be like, oh shit, here they come. Get ready, NFL. The Buffalo Bills are headed for you. 1-0. 2-0 next week. Watch for it. Be Vicious out.